Hi, welcome to Pilates with Abla. This is a short level 2 video focusing on the glutes. So let's go ahead and get started. Start by lying all the way onto your back with your feet hip sockets distance apart parallel. So that's about a fist distance, and make sure your feet are not turned out or turned in, just parallel. Arms reaching long by your side and anchor the backs of the shoulders into the mat. Start by drawing the abdominals in and up, curling the tailbone under, pressing through the big toe, pinky toe, and heel, squeezing the glutes, and lifting the hips all the way up into a shoulder bridge. At the top, make sure the abs are pulled in strongly, and then the hips and ribs make one long line from armpit all the way down towards your knees. And then melt your spine onto the mat. Think chest first, then ribs, then waist, and then last, roll your hips. Let's do that one more time. Curl the tailbone under, press through the big toe, pinky toe, heel, squeeze the glutes, keep the abs pulled in, and roll the hips all the way up into your shoulder bridge. And imagine an orange between your knees, so you're engaging your inner thighs strongly. Keep those abs pulling in and up. Squeeze the glutes a little bit more, and then lift the heels high off the mat. Imagine you're reaching your knees straight forward. Now keep the knees reaching forward, the hips lifted by squeezing the glutes, and lower your heels. So your heels go up, keep the hips high, and roll them back down. So while you're doing this, your hips are staying just as high, so they're not lowering and lifting with the heels. Good, you have 4 more. Abs pulling in to protect your back. Make sure you have space between the chin and the chest. 2 more. Keep curling the tailbone under. Last one, keep the heels high. Lower your hips halfway down. Tuck, curl, and lift. Lower and lift. Imagine squeezing an orange between those knees so that your knees track straight forward. If this bothers you, you can always lower your heels if it doesn't feel good on your body. Do 4 more. And 3. Keep curling and lifting. 2 more, squeezing at the top. Last one, hold the hips up high. Keep the hips high, abs pulling in, and lower your heels. Shift your weight over to your left foot. Keep the hips even and lift the right leg up to the ceiling. Readjust your hips so that your hips are even, pointing that toe. Flex, reach the leg long so it's in line with your left knee, maybe readjusting those hips, and then point, kick it up. Flex lower, point to lift. Keep readjusting, squeezing that left seat so your hips are even. 3 more. And 2. Abs pulling in. Last one, keep the right leg lifted, left inner thigh in, lower your hips halfway and lift. Lower and lift. You have 2 more. Keep lifting both hips evenly. Last one, hold it up at the top, and then lower your right leg down, shift your hips, and then extend that left leg long. Readjust those hips. Flex lower, point to lift. Keep lifting the hips high. 3 more. The hips are even. You're working that right seat muscle. Last one, keep that left leg lifted. Adjust your hips. You lower halfway, squeeze and lift. Each time you're lifting, squeeze in that right seat. 2 more. Lower and lift, pressing through the backs of the arms, opening the collarbones wide, holding for just a second, lowering that left leg, maybe lifting the hips an inch higher, and then roll the hips down to the mat, the chest, the ribs, the waist, and last, the hips. Feels nice. Bring the soles of the feet together, open the knees wide to stretch out the hip flexors. And then let's roll over onto one side. Move your body to the back edge of the mat and prop yourself up on your elbow. Lift your abs and lift both legs up and bring them over to the corner of the mat. Make sure you're stacked against that back edge, lifting that bottom side waistband, pulling the abs in and up strongly, and your top hand is pressing into the mat. Flex the top foot and lift it up. Make sure it's parallel and then point to lower. Flex to lift, point to lower. Keeping the leg parallel and reaching long from hip to heel. You have 4 more. and 3. Drawing that top shoulder down. 2 more. Last one, keep it lifted and parallel and circle the leg out for 8, 7, 6. Abs are drawing in. You have 4 more. Keep reaching long through that heel. And reverse. Point as you reverse. 8, 7. Curling the tailbone under, drawing the abs in and up. 4 more. Abs are keeping you still on the mat. And 1, hold. Flex the foot. Bend the knee in about halfway in line with your hip, and then point, reach the leg behind you, curling the tailbone, squeezing the glutes. Flex, draw in, point, reach back. So as you reach back, you should feel it right in the back of the seat. Abs are pulling in opposition. 2 more. Last one, keep the leg behind you and then reflex the foot. Kick the leg forward in line with your hip. Try to bring it 90 degrees and then point, reach it back. Flex, add a double kick. Kick, kick, and reach back. So you're going a little farther on that second kick. Do 2 more. 1 long line from hip to heel. Point as you curl the tailbone under. Last one. And then bring the leg forward 90 degrees and then bend that bottom knee so it's in line with your hip. Keep the top foot flexed, lower towards the floor, and lift. As you're doing this, you're keeping your top hip back into your socket and drawing the abs in and up strongly. 2 more. Last one, keep that top leg lifted and finish with little lifts, up and up. Keep drawing the abs in, reaching through the heel, drawing the hip back. You should start to feel that side seat burn. 8 more. Whew. Breathe through it. Make sure you're inhaling and exhaling. 3 more. 2 and 1. Hold it up for just a second and then bend the knee. Give yourself a little pat on the seat. And then lift yourself up by using your abdominals and swish your legs around to the other side. And lie against that back edge of the mat. Stack your spine up. Lift the legs by using your abdominals and bring them over to the corner of the mat. Hips pulling back, lifting that bottom side waistband, top hand strongly pressing into the mat. Flex that top foot, lift it up, and point to lower. Draw the top shoulder down away from the ear and try to lengthen the back of the neck. You have 2 more. Last one. Keep the leg lifted. Let's flex the foot and circle it out for 8, 7. Nice big circles about basketball size. Your abs are keeping your body still. And reverse by pointing that foot. 8, 7. Try to anchor the bottom leg onto the mat. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Flex the foot. Draw the knee halfway in line with your hip. Point, reach it back, curl the tailbone under, squeeze the glutes. Flex, draw in, point, reach back. 3 more. And 2. Curl the tailbone, squeeze the glutes each time. Last one, keep the leg behind you. Curl the tailbone under. Flex, kick that leg forward. Point, reach it back. Add that double kick. Kick. Go a little further. Point, reach back. Kick. Kick. Point, reach back. 3 more. Reaching long through that leg as you keep the hips stacked on top of the bottom hip. Last one. Keep that leg forward. Try to bring it right to that 90-degree angle. Bend that bottom knee and then lower and lift. Keep that bottom side waist lifted so you're working the abs even while you're working your seat. 3 more. Reaching through the heel as you keep that hip back. 2. Last one, keep it lifted. Finish it out with little lifts. Up and up. Start to feel that burn. Ooh, keep drawing the hip back. 8 more to finish. Keep breathing. You have 8. And 7, maybe bring the leg a little farther forward. You can do it. 4 more. 3, 2, hold it up, flex that foot, reach a little longer, and bend the knee, bring it in. Give yourself a little pat, and let's stretch it out. Lie on your back. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh, flex the top foot, and then pull that left leg a little closer. Ah, feels nice. Try to open that right knee a little bit more. Anchor your hips and then draw that left knee in for a deeper stretch. And then let's switch legs. Left foot crosses over right, flex the foot, draw it in, anchor the hips, open the knee by pushing lightly on the thigh, and draw the hip in a little closer. Whew. Maybe a little rock slide to side if it feels good. Hands behind your thighs. Let's rock it up to a seated position and do one more stretch. Make sure you're sitting on your sits bones. Flex the feet, arms reach up to the ceiling. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lengthen forward over the legs. And when you can't go any further, grabbing onto the shins, or maybe your feet, drop your head, scoop your abs, and round the crown of the head down. And think of pressing the backs of the legs onto the mat to really stretch out those hamstrings. And then roll it up through your spine. Have a seat. And we're done. Thank you for joining me for this short glute workout. Make sure to subscribe so you get updates on the latest videos.